Hey everybody, welcome to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson, my co-host, not Hank Longo, no, it's Al Snow. Al, welcome to the show. You're not a stranger to being a guest, though.
No, not at all. Many years ago, was a guest in one of these chairs, but I've co-hosted a few times, but it's been a while.
Well, Al's going to bring an interesting perspective. Of course, for those of you that know him, and for those of you that don't, he was affiliated with the PGA Tour and also ESPN. So, some interesting insights there. We talked about a special announcement in Polk County. Most of you are familiar, hopefully familiar, with the Russ Matt Baseball Spring Collegiate Classic that takes place from the end of February through the beginning of April. Pumps about $24 million a year into our Polk County economy. We have another one coming, only in another sport. And the sport, softball. We also brought a very special guest, Kevin Billiau. And Kevin, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us. And wow, this is big news for Polk County. Tell us about the event and when is it coming?
Well, like you led in with, we're a collegiate softball program just like Russ Matt. Might be some slight differences, but it's the same format. We come for day 1 through day 8 and don't send anybody home, and we're here for the entire time. Wow. That's great.
Well, that's some fantastic stuff. You know, the opportunity to have Russ Matt here was great, but girls fast pitch softball is another dimension with some very talented and some of the best softball players in the country coming into Polk County. And the event itself lasts the entire month of March, which is, you know, if you're looking for a room, at least if our viewers are looking for a room during that month, it's going to be real tough. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the Rebel Games, you've been in Kissimmee for a bazillion years, it seems.
14 years we were there.
Okay. And, you know, it just has a great reputation, and obviously you've decided to change venues, which we are very pleased with, and we're certainly glad to have you here.
Great. It is wonderful. The last couple of days I've been going around talking to some hotelers and restaurants and getting to know the area a little bit, and it's just been very welcoming and very friendly county, and appreciate that.
Tell us a little bit about the format of the games. I mean, how does it work? And tell us a little bit about some of the teams we can expect to see, because there's a lot of folks here. What we found with Russ Matt, a lot of folks, you know, either went to college there, they knew, you know, somebody that went to college or university at one of the schools that are coming down. Is it kind of similar to that?
Very much so. And with the Detroit Tigers in Polk County, the connection to the Michigan teams would be Wayne State University, Northwood, Saginaw Valley. We've had Calvin College, Hope College in the past, hoping to get them back. And our target market is north of the Mason-Dixon line, east of the Mississippi, where they're under snow and haven't even been out of the gym yet, haven't seen grass, let alone dirt. So they're literally getting off the plane and stepping on dirt and starting to play. And it's part of their season, it's part of their power rankings, and the games mean a lot to them.
Well, I'm sure that with, you know, Russ Matt being in town and a lot of these same schools being involved, it probably draws not only, you know, the parents from those schools, but there's some chance for some alumni to get involved. Do you see a lot of that as part of the event?
We do. We have the big alumni event that is put on by our teams is by the United States Military Academy, Army. They come down and they have the General Alumni Association, and they special requests so they can get it all planned and have a big get together with them. So a lot of the schools do that off-site.
Okay, great. Talk about a little bit about the colleges. Of course, you're originally from Michigan, Grand Rapids, which is on the, for those of you who don't know, it's on the left or the western side of the state, right on Lake Michigan. Great place. I've been there several times. And you talked about, you know, the fact that the event's been around for 14 years.
Well, we were 14 years in Kissimmee.
In Kissimmee, okay.
Prior to that, we were in Ocoee in the Apopka area.
Okay.
And before that, I forget the name of but it's going back before my time. This is our 37th year, and it was started by it's a homebred Central Florida event by Marge Ricker that was started back in the mid-'70s as part of the Title IX.
Okay. Well, it certainly worked out real well, but you mentioned north of Mason-Dixon, east of the Mississippi. Any schools from my home state of Wisconsin?
Oh, absolutely. We've had Wisconsin Green Bay has been coming for many years. We've had Wisconsin Whitewater, St. Norbert,
oh yeah,
Eau Claire.
Oh,
River
yeah.
Falls. Tell me when to stop.
No, do they return most of the time, or do they like take a year off and then come back, or is it pretty consistent?
We have a strong support, loyal following. We have coaches that have been coming 20, 25 years
Wow.
to this program. And then we get some new ones that come in, test us out. Mm-hmm. We have some that come for a couple of years, and then they leave, and then they come back. Mm-hmm. It's gotten really big. The sport's gotten really big with the recruiting, and a lot of the Division II, Division III now are recruiting California.
Sure.
So they need to get back there so mom and dad can see them.
And overall, how many teams generally would you get as part of this event? I know that going to Polk County, you might be, losing a few teams this year until you kind of get reestablished, but how many teams overall?
We're expecting 110 this year. We've been as high in 2009 with 184, and that was limited. We turned teams away. We were limited on facility. Part of our reason for coming to Polk County is the additional fields in the area that we could expand into. Right now we're NCAA, but we're going to open up to NAIA and junior college also.
Ooh, that ought to make a huge difference.
Well, if initially our goal is in the short term is if you've got the Russ mat here with the baseball teams, they might as well send their softball team too.
Yeah.
So
hopefully on a different bus. But a lot of people drive down, I would imagine, don't they?
Fly, it's a big mix.
Yeah.
Big commercial buses.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. Okay, we're talking about, or you were talking about venues a little bit earlier. Where are you playing?
We're going to be playing at the Diamondplex and Auburndale at the softball complex there.
Well, that gives you a lot of options. That's 10 fields right there.
10 fields right there, close by.
And in good condition.
Great condition.
Yeah. That's, one of the things we found out about those two facilities, whether it's rain or shine, these guys are on it. The fields are prepped. Those poor guys in Auburndale, though, man, I feel sorry for them. They're going to be stretching their crew big time. But they just do a marvelous job. In fact, the entire county, I can't say enough. I don't think there's any county that I'm aware of that does as good a job across the board, with field maintenance and taking care of the teams as they come in.
With the research I've done before, as part of making the decision, that's what I've heard from everybody.
Yeah.
Great, friendly, and they bend over backwards to get everything done.
Great. I know that the teams come down and their goal is to play as many games as possible during the course of their stay here. I mean, they're here for spring training to get ready for whether it's regular season or heading into division play. Mm-hmm. They're wanting to play as many games. How many games total are we talking about over the course of the month?
Well, the NCAA caps the number of games they can play, and when they get back home, they have conference play and some non-conference back home.
Sure.
So when they come down here, they want to play what they've asked for.
Sure.
So in that sense, yeah, they want to play all their games. We schedule 2 games a day. On occasion, we may do a 1 game for somebody that needs to leave early or just has some special needs.
Sure.
So typically the teams come for 10 games. That's 5 days plus a day off. Come the day before. If they're flying, hopefully they leave the next day when they're done so that we don't have a team missing.
Sure.
But I've got one more question for you because I know we've been getting the hook or the axe, I guess. They're a little rougher on us than the others. But girls come down. Parents, siblings, grandma, grandpa, all those folks come along with them, or
from wherever they come from. Some of the grandparents, uncles are here, mm-hmm. retired and down for the winter. Parents do follow. Economic times is a little bit tougher for them to get down here, but we're doing the best we can to help them, and they're going to make sure their daughters get here. But it's basically another whole set of the program. The total number of coaches, players, we get those in fans too.
Yeah, fantastic.
So the fans double it.
I'm sure the citizens and our viewers definitely want to see again before the game starts. So you need to count on being here again at the end of February so you can give us an update on exactly what teams are coming and how it's looking for this coming year. But Kevin, thanks so much for coming down. We really appreciate it, and it's great to see you again.
Well, we appreciate you having us, and we're looking forward to a long relationship.
Oh, super.
Great.
Well, everybody, speaking of relationships, it seems like the relationship between Santa Fe High School and producing good sports or good athletes continues to go on and on. Rachel Ringley, a swimmer from Santa Fe, is our special feature up close and personal this week. Check this out. Al and Mark, we'll be back right after this.
started swimming at the end of my 6th grade year, and I'll be swimming for 4 years this coming June. And when I was younger, I did this summer swim program and I really liked it. Then my mom, my sister, and I, we talked about it and we thought it would be a good sport to start. My coach, Mike Blum, he is I've never really had another coach, but he is the best coach I could ever ask for. My favorite athlete, he would have to be Ryan Lochte or Michael Phelps or one of the Olympians because they stuck with it and they got to a really high point in their career. I think it would be really cool to go to the Olympics, but I personally don't think my times are fast enough, but I think that I would do pretty good in college swimming, and that's pretty much as far as I could think I can go. I'm hoping to get a college scholarship for swimming, and then when I get older and have my own kids, I want them to be involved in the sport too. It's like really good. It keeps you in shape and all that good stuff. I want to stay in Florida. My #1 choice is UF, but that's a D1 school and I'm not positive if I could swim there or not. But for swimming, I'm thinking like, I've even thought about Florida Southern here and Nova or Florida Atlantic University. When I grow up, I'm thinking I want to be like a dermatologist or like a nutritionist or something. I'm really into healthy stuff. My favorite subject is English right now, but math is one of my favorites as well. Other extracurricular activities that I do, I'm in National Honor Society, and I've done track at my school. Every day, all the time. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have practice before school, and then all the days after school we have practice, and then on Saturday mornings we have practice. My biggest accomplishment for swimming, I think, so far has been I think 2 summers ago I won the high point, which is an overall point total of how you did at the meet for my age group when I was 14 at the T-Bay Invitational. I'm usually doing homework when I'm not swimming. I really like to watch movies, but usually I just spend time with my sister a lot.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central. Mark Jackson here along with my co-host, Mr. Al Snow. Man, it's good to have you in the studio.
Yeah, this segment's right up my alley with the golf, but before we get into it, this segment is sponsored by the Florida Department of Citrus.
Great folks over there, and great folks, great product, and what a combo that is.
Absolutely.
Well, one of the reasons Al said this is a good subject for him, we're going to be talking about the 37th annual Polk County Amateur. This is good stuff, and we've had a lot of winners. We've had some Hall of Famers that have participated in this in the past, but we brought a celebrity in his own right. If you don't know this guy from the world of sports, shame on you. It's Drew Gillan. Drew, glad to have you from Bright House Networks.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's
pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. And you've done an awful lot taking this tournament. At 37 years it's gone on, and it's gone through some different management, and I think the guy that won it last year was Lee White, and there's been a number of very notable golfers that have participated in this, but it can't happen without good corporate support like Bright House and of course BB&T. I know Sue Halverson is in the studio, and she wouldn't come on the show, and we really wanted her here to talk about it, from a little different perspective. So we'll just give her a little teasing because of that.
That's great. Yeah, actually, it is the 37th year, and we're really proud to be a sponsor of it. The money goes towards 3 different charities. Excuse me, 3 different charities, and it's all about the youth. And they're our greatest resource. So that's why Bright House is involved in. The play that's in this tournament is unbelievable. Lee White won it last year, and he won it, I believe, in 2010. So a lot of good young players, and really going to be a great event.
I know that the history of the event. I mean, it was really born out of the fact that Charlie Stein started the event as part of Florida Golf Week, which ended up being Golf Week magazine, which I actually worked for a time. That's really kind of how it started to be the premier event, for amateurs in Polk County, which it is. Who are some of the kind of key names to kind of keep an eye out for this week?
Well, I tell you, we have a lot of young players. Lee White's turned pro, but the gentleman won a year before, Tiger Goodwin. Tiger's a good player. We've got a lot of young players. Drew Guffey's back, so we got a lot of young players. I really think Lone Palm has some fellows that are great players, and they could be a part of it too, and come down to the end on Sunday afternoon. I couldn't pick a winner, but I really think, as strong as the field is, they could come out of any of the top 3 flights.
Sure.
So,
do you know if at this point is Sam Horsfield signed up, our 16-year-old phenom?
Yeah, everybody's kind of heard of Sam. At this point, I don't think he is. Okay. So I hope he does play. But we still have some openings. So if someone would like to get in, we still have room. So that's good. And we still have room for sponsors as well. The event's 3 weeks from tomorrow. So
August 3rd and 4th.
3rd and 4th, Lone Palm.
In fact, how can people find or get more information about the event if they want to attend or if they want to sign up? Is there a website?
There is. You can go to lonepalmgcgolfclub.com/Polk Amateur. And you can go on there, sign up. The entry forms are there. The information for the tournament's there. Sponsorship information as well, and then also the players will be able to go to that website Saturday afternoon for their tee times on Sunday.
Yeah, that's an awesome event. But the charities that you're talking about, I want to jump back for just a second. Mm-hmm. The Citrus Center Boys and Girls Clubs,
correct? Girls
Inc. of Winter Haven, and then the First Tee of Lakeland. So it reaches throughout the county. I mean, this is a tremendous benefit.
It does. I think Girls Inc. in Winter Haven has about 230, 250 girls that they work with on a daily basis. I think the First Tee has over 1,000, and Citrus Center Boys and Girls Club has almost 2,000 kids that they work with, on a daily basis and through the weeks. And all 3 charities are great; they're deserving, but it is all about the kids, and so that's where the money goes.
Sure. So in essence, Bright House Networks is putting its resources into human resources. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, we are. Well, he said there's nothing like the youth of America when you talk about kids and education and child safety. These are all big things. And because of Bright House's generosity over the years, we've been able to support it. So if you as a sponsor, you write the check out directly to the charity. So Bright House pays for some of the gifts, the tea gifts and what have you. So all the money that when you write the check out as a sponsor, all the money goes to the charity.
That's fantastic.
It is. It's been good. And this is the 9th year that we've been involved. And so through 8 years, we've taken in and made a little over $500,000 for
right back into the community.
Right back into the community, right to the charities, right to the kids.
Well, you have a special award, too, called the Charlie Stein Award. And it's sort of somebody that gives back, I guess, to the sport of golf and to the community. And I believe Sharon Smyers won it last year, 2012.
Sharon did win it last year. This is the 5th year we've given that out. And we have a committee, and they sit down and they think about someone that has given back to the kids, to golf, and throughout their life. And so this year we actually have a committee of about 4. And these folks, it's, in the past I've known who it is, and it was kind of hard keeping that information from Sharon last year with her being on the committee. So she wanted to know who is it. And we said, well, we haven't decided yet. We knew, but we did keep it from her. So anyhow, they'll pick that, and it's the 5th year for the Charlie Stein Award. And I knew Charlie, and he was a great guy, and when he started the magazine, and so I played a little golf with Charlie back in the day. So it's great, and it's a nice award, and so I don't know who the winner is this year, but we'll find out Sunday afternoon.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. 1978 started.
Yeah, 1976, I think. 76,
oh, is that what it was?
79, something like that. Yeah, 37 years, whatever 37 years back is.
Yeah,
so
close enough.
Great. Yeah, it's a great event. I know I haven't won it, or I know how many years. But
I thought you'd won it once.
No, I won the Youth Villa in '98, but finished second this twice, but that was back in the day. So Those days are gone. But really looking forward to this year's event. I think Lone Palm is a great venue. I mean, it's a great golf course, great management. I know you spoke to Wayne Rath a week or so ago, and he's done a great job. And Brian Moran and his staff are just phenomenal to work with. So.
And I'm sure with all this rain and the weather we've had, obviously the golf course is probably absolutely tip-top shape. I'm sure they've got those greens rolling pretty true and pretty quick.
Yeah, and you know, when I do play, it's the rough is a concern. You know, so I know the rough's coming up, and they're kind of sculpting the fairways a little bit, and I think they will double cut and roll the greens. So I think there's a lot there for the players.
It's going to be fast. You know, I was out there probably 2 months ago with a friend of mine from Colorado, and I mean, the course was just pristine.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Didn't play very well though.
Well, that's when your second chip. You got to get your second chip close, Mark.
No
That's
Texas
important.
foot wedges or anything.
No, well, out there looking, but that second chip is important. You know, so you got to get it up there. But I think everyone's looking forward to the tournament, and you know, we moved it to this part, to the other side of the county, to speak, and it's still great. And like we say, the main thing are the charities, and to help those folks and help the kids.
Well, we've got just a few more minutes, or just a minute or so left here, but I do want to ask you one question before we let you go. And I know Dr. Richard Rudoka, and out of Winter Haven, has been very involved in the tournament, and obviously couldn't join us today, but is he going to be playing this year?
The good doctor is going to play, and I am kind of surprised that he wasn't here to be on television.
He's probably out practicing.
Yeah, well, he could well be.
Unless he had a surgery. But.
Yeah, Rich is going to play, and I know he's looking forward to it. But, you know, he's really taken this committee and taken charge of the committee. And, I mean, you go to the meeting, and he tells you what your duties are. So, you know, the charities, when they have time to thank someone, they need to thank Rich. I mean, he's done a great job, and it's a pleasure working with him. But it's been good.
We certainly, and I know the community really appreciates all that Bright House does, and I don't think that people really realize how much Bright House gives back to the community. I mean, we are so pleased with having Bright House here, because you put your money where your mouth is, and you put it into human resources. BB&T, another one. You know, willing to be involved in the community. So, Drew, thanks so much for your time and your resources. Not only for this event, but for all the other ones that take place here in Polk.
Well, it's our pleasure. You know, Bright House really wants to be a good community partner. We're out there. We do give back to the community. And I'd also like to thank you guys, Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing, for being a sponsor as well in the tournament. So thank you guys, and we'll let you know how the tournament turns out.
Well, we're looking forward to it. It's always well covered, and we appreciate it.
Well, good.
Thank you, Drew.
We appreciate the interview and exposure. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Drew.
Thank you.
Well, just a little bit different sport, albeit in indoor sport, the Florida Square Dance, I guess in round dance competition as well, but it's pretty cool. We've got some great footage from the championships. You got to check this out when that's over. Al and Mark, we'll be back.
Hi, I'm Brad West, and I'm here at the 59th Florida State Square and Round Dance Convention. We're going to take a look today at what is square dancing, round dancing, and maybe even find out what these dangle badges are all about. So let's go. Hi, I'm here with Cheryl. She's the co-chairman. Cheryl, could you tell me what we've got going on today?
Yes, we have the 59th Florida State Square and Round Dance Convention that's held on Memorial Day weekend every year in Lakeland at the Lakeland Center. We do square and round dancing, line dancing. We're actually the American folk dance of Florida. So we come out every Memorial Day weekend and dance.
All right. And what's your average attendance for an event like this?
Our average attendance is probably about 400 to 600 people.
Now, is this a competition or is this for fun?
No, square dancing is not competition. It is basically for fun. It gives you fitness, because it gives you the opportunity of walking. It's not running. It's not fast paced. I hope you get some of the dancers dancing to see.
You passed me by one summer day, flashed those big brown eyes my way. I knew I wanted you forevermore. Doing Allen and left with the corner girl. Don't side, go your own. Allen and left that corner.
I'm here with Robert Padgett, who's a caller here at the convention. Robert, explain what a caller does.
Well, what a caller does is we give the instructions to the dancers for the various figures that they have to do during the dance. Really, all square dancing is choreographed walking. If you know your left from your right and you know you have 2 good feet and you can walk without impediment, anybody can square dance. So.
Finally, a dance I might be able to do.
Yes, absolutely.
Where did square dancing originate from?
Well, square dancing is really the only dance form that's native to the United States. It started with the Morris line dances in England and the French ballroom court dances in France. Our ancestors brought that over here. Things were transmitted by word of mouth and by rote, and before you knew it, some things got changed, some things got added, and the next thing you know, we had something very unique called square dancing, unique to the United States.
Hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, meet your road and your promenade. I knew Mary Lou. We never part, so hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye.
I'm here with Judy Anderson, the chairman of Dangle Dances. Judy, what is a dangle dance?
This is where we get together and square dance, of course, but we're given different chores to do. Like we just danced with pails where everybody had a sand pail with a shovel in it. They had to pass it around and get rid of it as soon as they could and get rid of as many as they could.
Now, what is the craziest dangle dance that you have done?
Oh my goodness, I've done so many. This one we're doing now is quite a bit of fun because it's a play on words. It's we're dancing with a thong, but the thong is a shoe that you have tied around your neck and it dangles down your back.
And do you know where dangle dances came from, or?
I think somebody just wanted something to do one day, and this is what they did to keep people interested and to get them started in learning how to square dance.
Well, it looks like a lot of fun.
It's a terrific amount of fun, and I recommend anybody doing it and get in with the dangle dances because this really keeps us going. It is crazy stuff to do.
Now the side square through, 4 hands around the ring, you're gonna fly, do the right and left through.
I'm here with Barbara McDonald, a first-time participant here at the convention. Barbara, what got you into square dancing?
Well, we got into it for fun, and we got into it in the 70s.
And how did you hear about this convention?
Well, we joined a square dance club about 2 years ago, and we hadn't danced in like 20 years, so it was getting back into square dancing, and we felt comfortable coming here and learning some more with the advanced dancing.
And now we learned about dangle dances earlier, and I've noticed you have some dangles, right?
Yeah, dangles.
What's the craziest one, the wackiest one that you've done?
The wackiest one is we danced at 2 oceans. When we were in Panama, we danced at the Atlantic side and the Pacific side in one day. So you don't get that one very often.
Very cool.
We encourage anyone to come out that is interested in square dancing to come and see what it's about, and we'll get you hooked up in a class and you'll be having as much fun as we are.
Well, that's all I have from the Square and Round Dance Convention. Now I'm going to go see if I can go earn myself a dangle.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson. Al Snow, to my right, to your left. Al, you ever square dance?
I can't say as I did, other than being forced in, I think, elementary school.
Yeah, well, I had the same thing in elementary and junior high school. We had to do it as part of
gym class.
Yeah. And we'll talk about, one of these days we're going to talk about our experiences in gym class.
Might not be a good thing.
This is a family show.
Especially for this segment sponsor, Legoland, Florida. I don't know if they'd appreciate some of our gym tales.
What a segue that was, wasn't it? I mean, that was, whoa.
I think we know what we're doing.
Oh man, have you been out there to see the new World of Chima?
We were out there for the opening when they opened the attraction, and it's great. It'll get you wet. Great thing to do during the summer out there because it'll cool you off a little bit.
They've been busy too. It's what an asset for Polk County. Unbelievable. 2 million people a year. That's more people than the Rays draw. It's more people than the Bucks draw. I mean, it's just like, really? Right here in Polk.
Yeah, it's a great park, great way to spend a couple of days with the kids if you had a long weekend, that's for sure.
Speaking of great parks, great venues, for those of you that haven't been to the Crooked Lake area, you got to check it out. And we have somebody that's going to tell you about a very cool event coming up. It's the 6th annual, by the way, the Scenic 17 Triathlon. Dr. Peter Ormsby from Weber International University. I've got to make sure I get it right with the professor here. But anyway, Peter, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. You got your running, cycling, triathlon shirt on.
Race director shirt on for the day. So.
That's okay. Well, good stuff. Well, this is your 6th year. The event itself takes place July 29th, right at the campus, correct?
Yes.
That's the headquarters?
The campus is the hub for everything. Swim right there in Crooked Lake, right off our little pier.
Okay.
And then everything's stationed right there on the soccer field for transitions.
Wow. Numbers, what do you expect this year?
We're hoping to crest the 200-person mark. Last year we had about 165, and we've been growing each year about 30–40%.
Wow.
Which is huge, and it's just word of mouth. We don't spend a lot on advertising, and it's just people just see the event. They've got people that come in from Vero, from Tampa, as north as Jacksonville, Miami, and they just love the event, love the course, love the people, love what we do after the race, and that's how we've grown so much.
Yeah, getting a few people that actually have been in the triathlon and just seeing the countryside, going through the hills out there and the groves. I'm sure that does a lot of your marketing for you when people go back and say, hey, you've got to check out this course. What are some of the areas that they're going to be visiting either on their bike or on their runs? How's the kind of course oriented?
They'll leave campus on the bike going south on Scenic 17, of course. They'll go through, of course, Babson Park, Hillcrest Heights, and they'll take the left at the McDonald's and Frostproof. So they'll actually go all the way into Frostproof on 17, come take a left onto 630, go through Mullinsville Road, and then right back along the hills and dales through 17 back to campus.
How long is that?
15 miles, point to point.
In the middle of summer.
Yeah.
Wow.
The first year they wanted us to shorten the swim because it was a half-mile swim the first year, and they go, shorten the swim, keep the bike at 15, and then they loved it.
Really? Huh.
Well,
I can see that.
And I know there's also a youth component too. There's a youth triathlon. How does their course compare to the adults?
The kids actually swim about 100 meters, so it's still the same basic layout as the adult race. And then the kids will actually do a 3-mile bike ride along the adult bike course, or the run course.
Okay.
So it's just a little hilly, and they actually stay on campus, do a little cross country, about 800 to 1,000 meter run, and they stay on campus. So very spectator friendly on the kids race.
What's the ceiling in terms of ages for the kids?
The kids race is 14 and under.
Okay.
Of course, the more experienced kids will jump in the adult race. So
Yeah.
we're looking for about 11 and under on the kids side.
Okay. Well, you have a daughter by the name of Sarah.
Yes.
That is she going to compete this year?
She says she's going to compete this year. She did the first year and was at Grandma's last year, so she couldn't compete. But she tells me she's going to do it this year.
Well, she's sitting in our studio audience, everybody, with now she has a little red face, but we didn't mean to embarrass her. But I think that's pretty cool. You know, in triathlons now, it's really changed. You know, maybe over the last 25 years, that it's much more family oriented. You know, the Ironman. You know, we saw a lot of the kids race there. We saw a lot of families there, and so on and so forth. Are you seeing that as well in your race? That there's families coming, or is it still?
We've actually got a lot of. The main reason why we did a youth race is to get more adults to come. So now that we've got it the same day, that the kids are after the adults can come, they can race, and then the kids race right after, so they can actually, everybody can take part in the event, and the post race is geared towards everybody.
With everything being kind of centered around, you know, Weber International University, it's, you know, a great way to get people down to that part of the county, and very scenic part of the county. I mean, what other events are a part of the triathlon day as far as awards and things like that?
We'll do a race, our packet pickup Saturday afternoon, and this year we've actually got offer a dorm stay. So kids coming, families or people coming in from out of town can actually stay on campus for about $25, get a pasta dinner in the cafeteria Saturday night, roll out of bed. Right
Ready to
there,
go.
right there. 2 minutes to transition. So we've had people come in with their motorhomes, park the motorhomes on campus, and just have a nice big old party Saturday night before the race. And then post-race, Century 21 in Lake Wales is going to sponsor our post-race party. For those people that have done all 6 races, we're actually doing a special award for them.
Well, tell us about the other 6 races. Tell us.
Everybody when we first started, well, back in 08, we had about 35, 40 people do it.
Okay.
And there's been a core of those 40 people that have done every race since. And I just put on Facebook this year, it's like everybody that's done all 6 or will have done all 6 is going to get a special gift from the Scenic 17 Triathlon.
Wow.
Great.
That's got to be a great recruiting tool for Weber. I mean, families coming out and all this type of stuff. You can stay on campus. They can see what the environment's like, what the dorms are like, what the campus is like. I mean,
and with
Dr. Wade's got to be thrilled.
Yeah, and actually Bill Heath is ecstatic just because it's one of the biggest events we have on campus.
Yeah.
And it's really only about a 24-hour cycle that we go through. Now that we have a triathlon team on campus, that's been huge because now I'm allowed to race again, and it's been really nice to see when I start racing, everybody, hey, you're the race director for Scenic 17.
Yeah.
So it's really nice that everybody knows me now as a race director, now as a competitor as well.
Yeah. So are you going to run in this thing? Swim?
No, as much as I like to, I think I need to stay on the ground and make sure everything goes okay.
That was a setup question, by the way.
Well, you just mentioned that Weber now has a triathlon team. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, I know there's a lot of different sports. I mean, bass fishing and various other sports that are kind of coming to, the forefront these days as opposed to traditional stick and ball sports. So tell us a little bit about the triathlon team.
We just finished our first full season. Had 2 student athletes. One actually was 8th female overall in the Clearmont Triathlon. There's a collegiate division that served as the conference championship, and she was 8th. She actually was our overall champion last year, Amber Griffith, right here in Lakeland. Recruiting hard for the team. I think I got about 3 or 4 people coming in, and we're one of less than a handful of teams in the country that offer scholarship for triathlon. So everybody else in the state or in the country is a club-based team that student athletes are having to pay for gear and races and lodging, whereas I actually have a budget to pay for all that.
Wow.
So when I tell kids and parents, they're like, it opens the eyes, because women's triathlon will be the next NCAA emerging sport. So we're trying to get ahead of the NCAA a little bit and get the scholarships and stuff going and pique some interest.
Of course, Weber is NAIA, National Association of Interscholastic Athletics. You got that right, buddy?
You got it.
Yeah, I got it. Super. But there's a lot of things out at Weber now that are just like every day you turn around, there's something new. I mean, a football program, you're going to have a stadium coming in, you've built this nice softball facility. It's phenomenal what Weber's doing in the world of sports. And it's tremendous recruiting tool.
Once the stadium gets on campus, we feel that's going to be huge with just getting kids on campus.
Yeah, but other sports as well. Tell us a little bit about what's happening there.
Everybody's growing and getting better. So it's just a great place to be. I can't believe I've been there for going on 7 years now.
Wow. That's you guys still doing your golf tournament?
Still do, football does a golf tournament, athletics does their own golf tournament, and of course Dr. Wade has his presidential golf tournament.
Yeah, that's always a fun one because you get a free turkey.
Hey, we enjoy that.
Absolutely.
Anytime you can, some free Thanksgiving dinner, that's great.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Well, Peter, thanks so much for joining us. And Sarah, best of luck to you. I hope you just tear it up. Show them what you're made of. That's great. Keeping it in the family. Well, Peter, thanks again. And say hi to all of our friends out at Weber College. Excuse me, I keep saying Weber College. It's Weber University. International University. Great school. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Well, women's weightlifting? Really? Oh, yeah. You've seen it in the Olympics, and you see it in the Florida Sunshine State Games, which was just held here in Polk County. And we have some great footage of some of the strongest female weightlifters in the state. Ladies and gentlemen, check this out. We'll be back.
If you're like me, you're always wondering where to go, what to do, where to eat. But that's not a problem for me anymore since I downloaded the Explore Central Florida app on my smartphone. This thing is great. And the best part, it's free. Just go to the Apple Store or Android Marketplace and download the Explore Central Florida app. Once you've downloaded it, you'll have access to information on all the local events, attractions, and sports in Polk County. If you're looking for a place to eat, search for dining in your area and even have it mapped for you. This is a great tool for me and visiting friends and family. I just tell them to download the Explore Central Florida app, and they are set to explore everything Polk County has to offer. It's free, so what are you waiting for? Download the Explore Central Florida app today and put Polk County at your fingertips.
Hey everybody, we're not finished yet. Mark Jackson here along with Al Snow, if you're just joining us on Sports Central this edition.
Absolutely. And this segment is sponsored by the Hampton Inn in Winter Haven.
Yeah. Great place to stay. Had a lot of great compliments about the Hampton Inn. Yeah.
Very nice property. He actually was at a meeting yesterday over at Hampton in Winter Haven. So
I was a meeting too. I had a meeting right next door at the Outback after work.
I didn't get an invitation to that meeting.
Oh well, that's you know, part of the discussion was about this dance team, and our next show we're going to have this team that there's several of the teams that perform and work out at the Right Step School of Dance won national championships up in Panama City several weeks ago. And oh, it's cool. So you got to look forward to that. That's coming up next, everybody. Well, speaking of next, we have a young lady with us that sort of represents Haines City in a lot of different ways, everyone, and she is a Haines City-ite. A knight. Yeah, she's born, bred, raised, whatever all those things are, in Haines City. Good girl, goes away, comes back, and now she's with Parks and Recreation.
That's right.
Which is now called Leisure Services. I've got to get that right. Maleah Myers, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, smiley face today.
Yes, I always smile a lot.
That's a good thing. You know, it takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown.
That's true. That's true.
So, anyway, Haines City, the home of Lake Eva,
yes, and
the community center there. I mean, wow, there's been some unbelievable activities going on there. I know that USA Water Ski has done their and Hall of Fame have done their Hall of Fame banquet there, but probably the highest visibility you've received was from the Ironman Florida.
Yes.
Was that a little bit of a stretch for you guys, wasn't
yeah,
it?
that was really fun. We had our second year in May, so that was great. A lot of people came out. It is such a fun event. Such a fun event.
And it's good to see the community, I mean, working on the other side of things and actually working the event. It's great to see the community pour out for that event, from, you know, all those that came down to Lake Eva Park to, you know, those that line the streets. I mean,
right. Oh yeah, and waited outside their house to give water to all the runners and everybody. It's really a community event, so that makes it a lot of fun.
Yep. We only had one complaint, believe it or not, of the thousands and thousands of people that attend and the citizens. You know, Haines City's a pretty good sized community now.
Oh yeah.
And it was a very nice lady who was just a little upset that she was late getting to church. Because she didn't know where the routes were. So, you know, I said, we'll get you the information next year so you can make sure that you can get to church.
That's right.
And I said, I made it, but I don't live in Winter Haven, you know. But the Ironman, that had to do tremendous visibility for Haines City.
Oh yeah, we've got a contract with them, so they'll be back next year and a couple more years after that. So it's really done a lot of good things for us. We just keep adding events and making the city grow, and just doing whatever we can to get the community involved, because that's kind of what we're all about. You know, we're the heart of Florida, and we take pride in that. So.
Sure. Well, what are some of the other events that you've got going on now that you've had a chance to take a breather from Ironman?
Yes. Well, right after that, we have our Thunder on the Ridge, which is our big event that we had on July 4th. So that just wrapped up, and that's our largest event of the year. So we're kind of now taking a little breather, and we've got, in August, we have our Back to School Bash, which is really cool. We have school supplies for elementary school kids that they can come and pick up at no cost to them. And then our next event really isn't until as you get into October, which we have our Stride for Fitness 5K. So if there's anyone wanting to start training for the Ironman, that can give you a little taste of what it would be like to do some running and things like that. So we're kind of taking a breather. Our larger events aren't more till December, but it's exciting. We stay busy all the time.
So you got, well, everyone, this is kind of an interesting, I guess, segue, if you will. What we're going to be doing is frequently bringing in Parks and Recreation or Leisure Services, as some of them are called, like Haines City, on a regular basis to give you an update on what's happening in terms of leisure services, activities, and so on. So you get a little insight into the communities and what's going on there. I always enjoy hearing about that, and whether it's a sports activity or arts and cultural activity, it's something for the community. And you guys do a great job in Haines City. I mean, your programming is phenomenal.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Well, one of the things I like the best in one of the events is the dive-in theater. Tell everybody a little bit about that.
I heard about that.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, well, we have a aquatic center which has a splash pad and a regular Olympic-sized pool.
What's a splash pad, by the way?
Splash pad, it's this huge kid area, and it's more geared towards kids. I mean, you have your adults there, but they cannot utilize all of the equipment there. There are weight limits and things, but it's just basically a huge water area where the kids can just play a little safer for them than a regular-sized pool in case they can't swim and things like that. Okay. So what we do is we have our blow-up theater screen that we use out in the park for movies in the park, but we also take it over to the pool during the summer. So you can pay $3 and come in the aquatic center and get in the pool and watch movies. We've got Surf's Up that we're hoping to do tonight if the rain will hold off. And then we'll have another one next month as well. So it's kind of different, but people seem to really like it.
Yeah, snacks.
Yes, we have concessions, so bring that money.
And it's only $3?
Right. Mm-hmm. The regular admission for the pool is $5, but to come in for the movie, it's just $3.
Wow. So, and then you can get snacks.
Right.
Okay, just want to make sure. Concessions. You got to make sure I get that right, too.
Yes, that's
I stand
correct.
frequently. Well, Maleah, you mentioned a little bit about what's coming up this fall, and as we get closer to that, it's hard to believe. I mean, here we are.
Talking fall already.
We're middle of July. And we're talking football season in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. When I say football season, I mean the NFL and all of that type of stuff. But you guys your planning starts now, or a while back, for some of these fall and holiday events. You got any holiday events that you can kind of tune us into?
We do. We have a fall festival to kind of kick off the fall season. That's in October. And then December, we are full of things. We have our Glitter, Glisten, and Snow event and our Christmas parade. And then we have Sharing Christmas, which that is kind of a special thing that we correlate with some of the schools around the area to help get gifts for children whose families maybe can't afford to give them anything this year. Okay. So December is definitely a busy month for us, and we will start planning for that, of course, very soon. So yeah, we've got a lot going on. So.
I mean, with so much going on, what's the easiest way for people to find out more about whether it's camps or some of the other events that you've got going on? What's the easiest way for people to find out about those?
Well, we have our community center, which is where I work, and that's where a lot of the people come to get their main information, which is at Lake Eva Park. That's where it's at. You can go to our website, which is hainescity.com. But if you want to call us, the number is 863-421-3700 for anyone listening. You can call. We have lots of information on youth sports, special events. That's our central location. So if you need anything, that is the number to call, and we can get you set up. We've got stuff for children, adults, the whole family. So we've got a lot going on, and we would love to hear from you.
Okay. Great. Now, do you have little kids?
I do not. I'm married, but no children yet.
What is that? Dual income, no kids? I think that's what that's called. I mean, it's not. Enjoy it.
Yes. I'm tired all the time. I can't imagine how people do it with children, but I guess you just make it work.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, you've got a great community to raise children at Haines City. Your economic development office is doing great stuff. Wow, pleased with that. And of course, Jonathan and the rest of the crew and the City Commission, hats off to you guys. You're doing fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, I appreciate it.
We appreciate the update on what's happening in leisure services in the great city of Haines City. So, Maleah, thanks again.
Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, we've had a great opportunity to talk with Maleah about what's happening in Haines City, but there's a lot going on in Polk County here in the next few weeks. And Al, I know you're just coming off the Florida Sunshine State Summer Games, and that had to be a bit of a chore for you. And then you had the Bike Florida
Bike Florida Spring Tour. We've had Geo Woodstock, the geocaching, basically a national convention for geocaching that brought 1,800 people into Polk County. We've been very busy.
Well, I've got you on the show. I want you to tell our viewers a little bit about this huge event that you're working on right now called the IPSC. IPSC, all these acronyms, you know, it's dementia is not good. You get them confused sometimes. But International Practical Shooting Congress, and it's the World Shoot. This is a Super Bowl of shooting.
Yeah, it's basically the Handgun World Championships. It's going to be held in October of 2014. It's basically a 19-day event, and we'll have 88 countries coming to Polk County, people from 88 countries to compete. 1,500 competitors, an Olympic-style opening and closing ceremonies. I mean, this is an event that Polk County has not seen before. It's the first time in 28 years it's been in the United States. It is. It'll be truly an event that everybody can come out and take part in, see and witness. You know, something that Polk County has not seen before, and it'll all be taking place in Lakeland and in Frostproof.
Wow. I know it's pretty much spread throughout the county. We've got thousands of people coming in, and this is from all over the globe.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have people from Russia, you'll have people from Czechoslovakia, Germany, England, you know, Japan. I mean, it'll be truly a very unique event for the county.
Well, it's I hope our citizens know it's coming. What time of year, by the way, is it?
It'll be October of 2014, so it'll start on the 3rd and run through the 19th. So. Good time of year. Hopefully, we'll be a little bit cooler than the summer, and but I think the people from around the world will enjoy it.
Oh, it's you know, it was interesting when you know, pitching the event and competing. It really came down to the USA, the two finalists, the USA and I believe it was Thailand.
Thailand, yes.
And the family-oriented approach was something that won out, without getting into the details. And so we're proud of our group that brought that home.
It's a definite draw. They'll enjoy everything there is to do here, and it's different than what they'll see in a lot of other areas, and it's not the, you know, necessarily the, you know, Disney thing. It's getting to kind of authentic Florida and seeing what Florida used to be like, and bringing their families to Legoland and experiencing Central Florida. A lot of people, this will be the first time they'll be here, so it'll be great to make a good impression.
That'll be great stuff.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Legoland, they have been very involved in a new event that's coming, and it is going to be held this September, and it is called Food Truck Wars, September 14th, downtown.
My kind of event.
Oh man! Well, they bring in like 40 these food trucks, and it's for a day. And you come in, you just have a great time. Minimum attendance at these things, 22,000 people in one day.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you see some smaller ones here and there, but this is going to be, I mean, a mega event. I mean, and
we're going to be talking more about that as the time gets closer.
Yeah, it's going to be fun and chance to go and try some different foods and just, you know, have a little bit of something here, something there. That's one of the big benefits of that, is you can try some different stuff. So it'll be looking forward to that one.
Well, this week we also have the President's Cup of U.S. Soccer. I mean, that's a huge event taking place out at Lake Myrtle right now. I mean, there's banners and thousands of people just running around everywhere. And of course, next week we have the National Softball Association Girls Fast Pitch B World Series. That will be played at the Diamondplex in Winter Haven, and it'll also be played at the Auburndale Softball Complex. The same two complexes where the Rebel games will be played this spring, and that's so much thanks should go out to Kevin Billiau, who has just been phenomenal to work with.
Spent some time with him yesterday. Actually, that was where we were on our meetings, and he is really looking forward to coming to this part of Central Florida and everything we have to offer. He's been exploring the area, visiting our hotels and some of our attractions, and he's very impressed, and rightly so. They're gonna have a good time when they're in town.
Well, don't forget, everybody, August 3rd through 4th, the Polk County Amateur coming up. It's going to be out at Lone Palm, so it's a new venue this year. Make sure you check that out. Al, we've got some people to thank.
Absolutely. We've got 97 Country, the Ledger Media Group, Bright House Networks, and Holiday Inn Lakeland North.
Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, wow.
It flew by.
It did fly by. Our next live show, July 26th. You get more of Al and Mark, or maybe Hank, we'll bring him back, but you did such a good job, I'm not sure about that one. But if you'd like to see more of this, or you'd like to tell your friends about it, make sure you check out PGTV following dates and times. It airs every single day, and we're glad to see you here. We're glad to be here, and we'll see you again next time.